So welcome to Wellbeing Wednesdays with Harvinder Narula, where we explore ideas and innovation shaping the future of well-being, wellness, mindful living. Today I'm joined uh, by someone who's been the pioneer in sustainable and responsible tourism, Mr. Sidharth Dominic,
Thank you,
who's
Harvinder.
the CEO of CGH Earth, a company that for decades has set the benchmark for eco-sensitive travel and authentic wellness experience rooted in India's culture and tradition. In this conversation, we'll be talking about future of sustainable travel. We'll be talking about evolution of wellness travel in India, and also what the future could look like for thriving, responsible tourism industry that balances growth with care for people, culture, and the planet. So, welcome, Sidharth.
Thank you, Harvinder. Thank
Uh,
you for having me.
Sidharth, you were in a very different business, and then you chose uh, hotels as a choice of business. Now, within hotels, the kind of properties that you have, luxury by default is understandable.
Yeah.
But was well-being or wellness travel something which was a choice, or which was a deliberated choice, or was it something that you stumbled upon and then chose further course?
Harvinder, for us, well-being or slash wellness is something we stumbled upon.
Okay.
For us, it was about, our journey into travel and tourism began, our real story started in Lakshadweep, where we kind of discovered that travel, we discovered a new meaning to travel. People travel not for built ostentation, but really to touch, feel, and experience lands, people, and cultures. And we found a big shift from built ostentation to people really wanting to engage with cultures. And in that journey, we kind of understood that there was a big gap in India. And our experience and what we developed in Lakshadweep, we kind of transplanted to mainland India. And in that journey, we started looking for experiences that could, make an impact for people. And we realized that Ayurveda was very much part of our culture.
Okay.
And it was not, it had kind of gone into the back burner. And people were now, it would be something, a new offering we could give to travelers. And we started small Ayurveda centers in our resorts. And we realized there was people who were looking at Ayurveda with a new eye. And this led to us, diving deep into the world of Ayurveda and wellness. And it's really opened up a whole new world for us in well-being.
Amazing. It is so important to understand and listen and keep your eyes and ears open as to where the shift is happening. What is it that the consumer is looking for? When you look at ecotourism, you understand that you are looking at spaces which have not been altered, not been modernized. But as a country, Ayurveda, naturopathy, yoga, India has been the birthplace for all these traditional wisdoms.
Very much.
Right? How do you position India and its tourism with the intention of creating a global wellness hub? What is it that you are doing towards that?
See, when you talk of ecotourism, what we define ecotourism, responsible and sustainable are the keywords. So that is one part of travel and tourism. And we found that when you start engaging with the cultures of land, and we found that Ayurveda and wellness was very much integrated to our lifestyle.
Right.
Here, traditional, and we had that science with us. And it was really lost. And we found that why not bring it out and showcase it to the world? And it is a science that is developed over thousands of years. And there's so much of knowledge sitting. And today, I think people have realized that there is sense in it. It's not something that it's not the old grandmother's kind of recipe to do something. There was a science that maybe some of the science is lost, but we are very much recognizing Ayurveda for what it is. And modern lifestyle, modern medicine cannot address many of the issues.
Right.
And now we are going to the root cause of diseases and lifestyle concerns that we have today. And Ayurveda offers a big solution there, Ayurveda or naturopathy, both of which is very much part of the Indian psyche and our tradition.
Right. Before I go further, I mean, you spoke about there are certain things which modern medicine cannot address.
Yes.
We are, as an industry,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just digressing a little bit from tourism to medical side,
Yes.
where we have the future is about integrated health.
Okay.
When people are coming in, it is not just Ayurveda or anything. They are coming in because of trying to create a certain lifestyle and an outcome for themselves
Yes.
when it comes from the healthcare perspective. Do you think it is wise to try and differentiate between modern medicine and the traditional wisdom and work in silos, trying to outbeat the other, trying to prove one over the other? Or do you think there would be a time when all of this will come, amalgamate, and be focused on the outcome rather than what the therapy is?
I think that's a journey that has begun and we are getting there.
Uh-huh.
Today, we are clearly working in silos. Unfortunately, that is the truth.
Right.
Allopathy will say that this is the science that is tried and tested and backed by data and statistics and all of that. And Ayurveda is mambo jumbo. And mambo jumbo will say there is a science which is 5,000 years old and it's all been practiced for ages. So there is a timeless nature to that. But I think going forward, we are in our journey to moving from, we moved from offering holistic, pure Ayurveda in some places we offer pure naturopathy. But today we are talking about why not get into a place which recognizes the goodness of, diagnostics, allopathy and modern medicine is fantastic. Use the science of modern medicine, take traditions of Ayurveda, integrate it with naturopathy and integrate all of that and focus on the outcome. I think that's where we are getting to. We're not there yet, but I think sooner, and many small centers are moving in that direction too.
Right.
And that's, I think, going to be the ultimate destination we hope to arrive at.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that, when we look at India's narrative on wellness, specifically when people are coming to India, the wellness tourism industry, what is the India narrative? What is the India story that differentiates us from other wellness destinations like Bali, Thailand, etc.?
In our journey, I think what we realize, we've been in the, offering pure Ayurveda, authentic. We've gone, dived deeper into the Ayurveda offering,
Right.
classified it at hospital level, not resort.
Right.
People seeking curative. And in that journey, we found that the international audience finds in us a more authentic approach. It's different from spa. It's not feel good. People come seeking a purpose and there is an issue, they want a solution. And they think that India is the land of Ayurveda. And there is a recognition out there. The other countries, I'm sure it has been part of their tradition, but they have kind of softened it and offer it as a, with a lot of eco-chic, and it's a little softer side. I'm not using spa in a bad word, but it's a little more pampering, whereas we have gone down the path of curative.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're more health focused
Yes, it
than
is correct.
pampering
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
And so that, if I look at CGH Earth, your journey and your focus on sustainability, ecotourism, wellness focus, started much ahead of its time before it became the buzzword. And along with it, we are in a unique position because we are blessed to be in a country where we spoke about that Ayurveda, yoga, etc. Took birth from this place. How is it important or more important for us to keep our focus on responsible tourism Why is it specifically more important for India than anywhere else?
Our own belief in CGH Earth is that what got us where we are is our learning from Lakshadweep. Lakshadweep was a pristine island which we were lucky to have the opportunity to run. And in that journey, we realized that that was a golden goose, and it was our responsibility to really preserve the environment, or even go to the extent of enhancing the environment if we could, by protecting it, carrying capacity, and all of that, plastics and all that was downstream. But just to preserve the environment was top priority. Any decision taken was subservient to, does it affect what is the impact on the environment?
Right.
And that learning took us out of Lakshadweep, and we found that the world took notice of us because of our respect for the environment.
Right.
And we too understood that we don't do it for the tourists. We do it for ourselves. It is our land. It belongs to the stakeholders, and the islanders are people who should, and their generations should enjoy this land.
Right.
So we do not have the right to destroy or take away because of our selfish needs. So we said that we need to protect that land, and we brought that back to mainland, and every unit thereafter was experience. Yes, look at it, offer an experience, but all subservient to ensure that what we do is, protecting the environment. So whatever we did, the way we constructed, to every decision was based on how do we protect and be responsible to the land around. So it was even sourcing, suppose how do you, then we brought in the word, it's not just about sustainable, it is also about being responsible to the, the co-stakeholders of that, the space we occupy. So it was, how do we give them some stake in the, financial gains from this activity we are involved in? So how do they get economic, we employ people of that location. It's not about importing people from wherever the cheapest labor was available.
Right.
So it was about ensuring that we give them opportunity to let them produce things that were used for by the resort or the wellness centers. It was also about encouraging them to, if they had skill sets, how do we allow their culture and arts to be displayed, and travelers experience that. So it is a whole world and ecosystem that we create, that kind of, our presence should really enhance that destination, is our belief.
Got it.
Yeah.
And you use the word experience.
Yeah.
And experience for your guests.
Yeah.
Right. And when we think of luxury, the first thing that comes to our mind is modern living, amenities, etc. And that is the usual expectation.
Yes.
When you go to a premium resort place.
Correct.
And then you have sustainability, ecotourism, responsibility towards the people living there, that destination, economic welfare for that particular place. How do you balance between the two when you're positioning luxury, yet wellness and ecotourism to your guests?
From our learning, what we have realized is that the world traveler has been there, done that, he's seen it all.
Right.
And he does not want to be in a space that it doesn't matter whether he's in London, Paris, New York, Delhi, Cochin, or wherever.
Yeah.
Most, unfortunately, I don't want to downgrade other industry, competitors or other hoteliers. But it's not just about providing them room to stay and some, a diet. It's all about the kind of space that they occupy. How does it fit into the, the way the people lived in that location? So let them live like, suppose, I'm just taking an example of Spice Village, which is set in the mountains.
Right.
There was a community that lived there. They had jungle grass on the roof, and the way they lived. So we created that environment, and we do not believe that it takes away from the luxury element. I think that is real luxury. Today, I believe the world has rephrased what real luxury is. It's how do we incorporate, tradition with good design. I think good design, it is subjective, but at the same time, uh, everybody recognizes, authentic experience, and they think that is that it commands a higher price too,
Right.
than if you put the best quality of woolen carpets to gold plated sanitary ware to the finest paint. It's not about that. It's how do they get into a space that kind of really reeks of tradition and the culture of that destination. So we try to incorporate that, and of course nature that is abounding in all our
Right.
where we are
Right.
occupied.
Do you think because we don't, everything has been corrupted, if I would use the word, for the lack of anything else, the environment so much that the natural spaces or the traditional real experiences are now rare,
Yes.
and that makes it a more premium and luxury.
Absolutely. It is getting rarer and rarer, and sometimes tourism is its own, overkill.
Correct.
And you can see across the world, many of the destinations where tourism has been overused, there is a pushback from people are saying that enough of tourism. So I think what is the way forward? It's a tricky position, because some of these beautiful spaces which are preserved, how do we ensure that they continue to remain so for generations to come is our responsibility.
Absolutely.
The only way is more of the population wants to get into those spaces. So how do we spread out this to more areas around the country, so that there is no over focus on specific locations. It's going to be a tightrope that we need to balance, because we need to let it sustain for a long, long time to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But tell me one thing, Siddharth, how do you choose a location? Because when you're looking at a place which is somewhere that you have never been to before, but it has a beautiful experience that can be enhanced for the guest. But when I'm hearing you speak, you seem to be very, very conscious about trying to retain the culture of that place.
Yes.
So how do you choose the place? I mean, do you have people who are skilled to go study the culture, understand the place before you choose to set up that particular place and open it for your guests?
Many of the CGH spaces that have come up we've been the first mover, and
Okay.
There has been a whole lot of people who could just who follow us.
Right.
They're not bragging, but we don't believe that. I think there are many untapped spaces in our country which have uniqueness that just need to be untapped, and
Right.
we just go to them and just offer it, put it, package it
How
well.
do you find these places?
We've got in the family and our team, we are just constantly people reaching out to us and say, we've got this beautiful space and this is the unique culture of it. And we go there, do a little bit of, and we think if we like it, we believe that
Guess
there is a
what?
whole lot of population out there who would also love to enjoy the same.
Right.
Because people are constantly looking out for new experiences.
Mhm.
So there is so much out there to offer.
Now, when you look at wellness tourism and not just eco-sensitive places, but creating places where there are curative, therapies that are provided, which can be experienced by the guests. This is a very fast-paced moving industry. I mean, like you said, wherever you have gone, you've been the first mover advantage, but the industry follows and taps that particular opportunity. What do you think is the role of the government, and what is the expectation from the policymakers to, one, ensure that the growth happens, but to also ensure that we don't mess this up?
Correct. Absolutely. I think that is very critical.
What is the expectation from the policymakers?
See, for us in our journey of wellness, we stumbled from resorts, we brought it into offering unique spaces that are focused or dedicated to Ayurveda.
Yeah.
Then we offered very base level, wellness programs like detox, or you was somebody who wanted to reduce weight, or it was very base level. But we realized that people who came seeking our offerings wanted a curative and they were looking for something deeper. And we also went into that. For us, over the last 20 years, our spaces have become much more curative. We got ourselves NABH accredited. And we find that in most, as we went along, there is no policy out there which kind of guided us. You're either a hospital or a resort. And the government always eyed us as a resort because we were always from that background.
Correct.
So we had huge issues, whether it is from taxation to how do they view us.
Right.
Now, currently, we have many of our seekers asking what is the insurance, because they're coming for a curative purpose.
Right.
And they're talking about what is the insurance backing that this can have, because there is an option. And I think the government is also getting there now, recognizing that all these holistic traditional sciences also should be covered under insurance. Right. There is a gap, but I think there is a movement, and I hope the government can kind of facilitate that a little bit, ensuring that it's easier for somebody to get an insurance for seeking a holistic science. Sorry to interrupt you. You also mentioned about there has to be some kind of control.
Absolutely.
Because these sciences, if it is left uncontrolled, it could backfire also. Right. There would be people who get there without proper backing, and somebody did something wrong, and the word goes out there that the science has been they had a detrimental effect on their health because of a bad practice of somebody. So it needs a tremendous caution going forward from here, because now the eyes of the world, and in fact internally in domestic India also, there are more people using these sciences. So we need to ensure that people who use the science gets it's used in the right manner. I'm not a doctor myself, but we constantly tell our team and the doctors and that we cannot at any point digress from the science and ensure that we stay true to that.
So that's a very interesting point, Dominic, that you brought up, the doctors, the NABH accreditation. Yeah. Most of the people, what is the guest list look like? Is it more people coming from overseas, or is it people from India?
When we started, it was international. 95% was international. In international, it was the German-speaking world where awareness about the Indian science of Ayurveda was very, very popular. I don't know what the reasons are. Austria, Germany, Switzerland. There was a lot of knowledge about Ayurveda. And the minute we opened, we found a huge inflow from those countries. Then it went to rest of Europe, the Russian, then the CIS countries. Post-COVID, India was 5%, it grew to about 7-8%. Post-COVID, we are looking at a complete shift in the whole numbers. It's 50% is India. If given an opportunity, India will take 75% of the occupancy of our places. And they are willing to pay top dollars, because we've occupied the space wherever we are on an upper price point.
Got it.
And in that price point, we are surprised that India is willing to pay for the science, because we thought initially that India, every town, every city has their own traditional Ayurveda centers or naturopathy centers around the corner where people could go and get their whatever they wanted to do. But they're reaching out to us. They believe that we are offering something that is undiluted and responsible.
So apart from the treatment is the experience.
Yes. They are willing to pay that kind of money and come back. And we've got a number of repeat patients, we call them in our...
I love the way guests have become patients. And you have NABH accreditation and you're having doctors.
But they're coming back to us, which kind of only reinforces that we're doing something right.
But Sidharth, when we're looking at responsible tourism and responsibility that comes along when you're dealing with the health and wellness domain, how do you choose your guests? Because if they're coming for a particular treatment, etc., is it they're coming as guests and then they can choose to have a treatment, or they're signing up for a treatment and then they're coming? And if they are choosing the treatment for which they're coming, then how do you choose? Because there's a huge responsibility of their well-being, especially when they're coming from overseas.
So initially when we started, we sold them packages. We said there is a weight loss package, there's a detox package, or there was somebody who is, different conditions. Now we've moved on, and we if somebody is interested in Ayurveda, we've got in our websites and our channels, we tell them we can broadly handle these kind of conditions. So somebody who reaches out, we send them what we call an appraisal form. It's called a pre-arrival form, where we try and understand what is the existing conditions of the person, what is he seeking, and then the doctor reviews. It's a confidential document that comes as a soft copy to the doctor,
Right.
and nobody else views it. So the doctor reviews it and says, okay, this person is this condition is something that Ayurveda or naturopathy has a solution for, and we would need this duration.
Right.
And we revert to the patient saying that, look, it is possible, but we would request you to come for 18 days or 21 days or 23 days or whatever. And we may require you to do some blood works or some other diagnostics and send us those reports. And there's a back and forth. And then there is a clarity, okay, this person is coming with these conditions, and Ayurveda can handle it. So it's a little more, organized in that manner.
And how do you differentiate yourself from centers like Jindal's, etc.? How are you different from them? Because yours is like a hotel with a healthcare facility. But at the end of the day, if you are now offering packages for Ayurveda, etc., keeping in mind their conditions, is there some similarity or is it different?
Jindal is a top-notch naturopathy center which has been doing phenomenal service for eons.
Correct.
They've been there, and they're large, large numbers. They handle the kind of volumes they handle is far beyond what we can do. We are in a little more boutique operation, where we say in our naturopathy centers, we are between 18 and 22 keys at a space. We try and combine the best of hospitality and the best of hospital.
Right.
The traditional science. So we try and, so each person is individually treated from every aspect, from his diet, from his treatment, from his yoga, from everything. Each person has that, quality time with the medical team.
Right.
So
And Sidharth, because of the location of your properties where you're offering these services, and your focus on culture and communities, you were talking about it. How do you ensure that, of course, where you already exist, where you already had a property, people understand you, right? But when you go to a new place, is there a pushback that you see from the local people? Because these are not typical tourist places. And how do you work around creating and integrating them into your work, rather than them fearing that they'll be displaced from their culture and their roots?
Recently, we opened a space called Prakriti Shakti. It's a naturopathy hospital set in a pristine, hill in the hills of the Western Ghats.
Right.
And what we found is the community was very receptive, because they immediately said this is not going to be a tourism space. And there is a much more open understanding and welcoming nature the minute they heard that this is going to be a wellness center.
Right.
And we said that we are looking at employing people and services from the area. So there is a huge shortage or a gap between talent available for the therapists. The other kind of services are easier to train. Hotel services like front office, housekeeping, food and beverage service, kitchen. Those are easily available because that's same for the resorts.
Correct.
But medical talent, so we're getting them trained, and we've tied up with institutions and getting them certified as therapists, or even the requirement of doctors, because each of our space has 8 to 10 doctors, and we need therapists. So right now we are going around, we are opening one space as we speak in Uttarakhand.
Okay.
And it's going to be a naturopathy center. So we are trying to going around in the panchayat and in the village, getting who are the people interested in getting trained. So we are willing to take them to some institution, either in Pune or in Kerala, get them trained to become therapists. So there's a huge opportunity. There's a big gap. And financially also, I think we are able to pay very well to these people who are willing to build a career in uh, in this wellness industry.
Right.
Yeah.
And another thing that comes to our mind is that, the therapies that you offer, Ayurveda, yoga, naturopathy, and various other therapies
Yes,
that,
yes.
which are not so openly thought of.
Yeah,
They're all very deep rooted in our culture,
correct.
right? How can we ensure uh, that the commercialization of these therapies do not take away the flavor of culture and kind of there's a lot of in-depth understanding. It's deep rooted in us. We've all seen some element of Ayurveda or naturopathy at home
Yes.
with our
Yeah.
grandparents, etc. And do you think we should be fearing of this moving away with this commercialization?
I think the sheer demand for Ayurveda and naturopathy across the geography is going to become a big challenge to ensure that it is not diluted.
Uh-huh.
So we are the watchdogs of ensuring that this does not happen.
Right,
And
right.
we tell our doctors constantly that we cannot afford to, digress from what it should be. So that is, we are cautious and we are aware of the dilution that can happen. And this is something that we have to review constantly to ensure that there is no dilution. I think you really hit the nail when you said that it can dilute. And it is so.
Right.
Because there are umpteen centers offering traditional treatments in Ayurveda and naturopathy across the geographies. How authentic is it, and how do we ensure? I think the good, that's where the difference will be. Though the good ones will ensure that there is no dilution.
So, you as a center would know that, you are running it without diluting it,
Yeah.
with the most authentic way
Yeah.
it should be offered.
Yeah.
But from the consumer perspective,
Mhm.
when somebody is looking at choosing where to go,
Mhm.
how do they figure out that which is the place which is offering the authentic service?
See, you asked me about what can government do. So one is the accreditation. Unfortunately, NABH is the hospital's accreditation system is more focused on allopathy.
Correct.
I think if the government can start now creating that this holistic science is something that is going to start to become prevalent and is real and is going to be here, I think we create something around this so that there is a standards are going to be set.
Right.
And which cannot be diluted. I think it is a little gray there. Probably the government can become the custodian of that, setting the benchmark to ensure
Absolutely.
that it doesn't fall below that.
Absolutely. I think
See, as a single operator, I can be the watchdog and constantly ensure that there is a certain standard which is not diluted. But this is it. I cannot talk for being very selfish, just for my business. It should be something that India as a nation should ensure that highest quality Ayurveda will be offered across wherever you go at different price points.
So Ayush Ministry does not have any...
Ayush does. I think Ayush in the last couple of years has become extremely active.
Right.
There is big shifts and changes, and they are ensuring that Ayurveda gets the rightful positioning. Not just Ayurveda. Ayush stands for Ayurveda, Yoga,
Correct. Unani
and naturopathy too.
But there is a need to have a standardization where something like an accreditation.
Yes.
That
which is focused on these holistic sciences.
Fantastic. And Sidharth, when you're looking at the blueprint of a thriving Indian tourism industry focused on wellness, if you were to design a blueprint, what would be the 2 or 3 things that you feel could be the pillar for the growth that we could see in the next 10 years, or what could define the next 10 years?
I think for India, see, there is that much that, history and culture and all that can drive. And if you look at globally in the tourism industry, one of the fastest growing segments is the wellness industry. And India can really tap into that. And it is just sitting there to be unleashed across India. We've got our sciences that has been part of our culture, 5,000 years of Ayurveda in every part of it. There is a different version if you go what is the Ayurveda offered in the north to the south, in Tamil Nadu, wherever. Each one has its uniqueness. Just unleash that, because the world post-COVID, in a post-COVID world, people have become conscious of one's own health, and they've realized that you can have all the wealth and without health, it means nothing.
Absolutely.
So immunity is not a pill that you can pop in. It is something that has to become part of your. And today the age profile also has changed. Earlier you had a senior citizen who would come for treatment. Today we are looking at 45, 50 being the new age profile of people.
In fact, my next question would have been that I've seen an interest from Gen Z, millennials to
absolutely. We are seeing that today as we speak. If you come to our properties, you look at the age group, age profile is completely changed. You'll have youngsters who are in their probably early, 20, not 20s, probably 30s and above, especially in the 40s, who are now saying that now, see, I'd like a quality of life going forward. To ensure that is sustained, I'd like to do this once in a year or once in 2 years, go for a complete, and they're looking at it as a holistic treatment. It's not just that I've got a diabetes or I've got hypertension, I need to address that. It's for complete body, mind and
detox.
The spirit. Yeah.
Sidharth, my last question to you, and this is a question I think no conversation today is complete without addressing advancement of technology.
Yes.
One of the reasons people want to go for a detox is they want to run away from the tech that has taken over their lives. In fact, digital detox is something that everybody is looking at. At the same time, at the provider level, AI and technologies around AI are able to give benefit of personalization, etc.
Absolutely.
What is your view on technology, both from the perspective of what you expect from your guests to do versus how you are using technology to offer a different experience, and how can it be enhanced by using more of technology going forward?
Two sides. One is we advocate to our guests/patients that they need to digitally detox, because that is a huge issue. When you bring your phone to the treatment center, you're bringing your entire life. All your stress and everything is sitting in that machine. You take it to your room before you go to bed. You're looking at all the challenges and issues that you're facing. So technology has challenges. We tell them, you're here for this 10 days, 15 days, 21 days. Try and minimize, if not do away with use of that. But for us to deliver this, we find that one of our biggest gaps has been how we have failed to not use AI. And it can be a big game changer. How we can, it can assist us in delivering a far higher, precise treatment to, focus. People are coming back to us over 10, 15, 20 years now. And if we have all their data, which we can, put together, the minute they call us, we know so-and-so, he just gives us his number. And we immediately know that this patient had come, these calls, this was what was communicated. So we can use technology effectively to ensure the quick, and we can reach out to him and, tell him on his diet, on his, when he needs to come back for a review, whatever. There are many places we see opportunities for technology to facilitate a better delivery of what we are doing. We have not used it so far. We are still very traditional in our approach. But I think that we have tied up with a software person to incorporate this buzzword of AI into.
When a guest leaves the place, goes back, the customer service team typically connects for a feedback.
Correct.
What do you ask for? Is it like how comfortable was your stay, or how do you feel now?
So for us, when we go back now, we are using AI. One is it's a follow up on what happened. So
Right.
if Arvinder came for treatment and when he left, after about a week, 10 days, we come back to you, and it has to be the doctor who is going to come back to you and say, look, Arvinder, you came for these conditions. This was your diet, this was your sleep, this was your pressure. Now tell me how is it? And you as Arvinder, now you would be delighted that this person is seriously understanding that he's talking to me because he knows my pressure was there. And so what is it now? You'll tell him, no, my pressure has now changed to this. My sleep pattern is like this. My bowel movement is like this. So he's going to put it into his system, and then he'll come back to you after 3 months and say that, Arvinder, now 3 months have passed. Now, better than asking, how was your stay? How is this? For him, it has value when he connects to him for the purpose he came there. I think we see a huge impact when we really connect to what was the reason why you came to us. We keep addressing it, and we tell you after maybe 6 months, Arvinder, maybe next year you should consider setting apart another 2 weeks to come back to us. Of course, it's good business also, but
Awesome. You know what, Sidharth, from the roots of Ayurveda and traditional practices to pioneering the concept of hospital and hospitality coming together, this conversation has been more towards understanding that tourism is not just about traveling to a particular place, looking at your luxury room, luxury environment. We are clearly moving towards a space where we are talking of not just responsible tourism, we are talking about purposeful travel.
absolutely.
Amazing conversation.
Thank you.
Good to see what CGH Earth is doing.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for taking our time to be with
Look
us.
forward to having you at one of the properties
Absolutely.
to continue our
I've stayed
conversation.
there in the past.
Okay.
I've enjoyed the hospitality of CGH Earth, and most definitely it's been one of my finest moments
Thank you.
among travel. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.